Hello everyone, it's Crystal. Today we're going to look at the Korean expression sugo and how to properly express this concept in English. This expression doesn't really exist the same way in English as it does in some Asian countries like Korea or Japan. So if you directly translate it, it can sound pretty awkward or strange. Let's find out why in the rest of the video. The dictionary says that sugo is about making an effort to work hard and the suffering that happens. If you started to talk about suffering to your coworkers at the end of the workday, they would probably be pretty confused. Instead, we will have to look at the situations where we would use sugo and choose a more natural expression to use. First, when you say 수고했다 to your coworkers, team members, or employees as a senior or manager, you might think you would say something like, "You worked hard," or "You suffered a lot today." But most of the time, managers are likely to express thanks instead of focusing on how hard you worked. So some basic expressions of this are, "Great work today." "You did a great job." "Thank you for today." Or after a stressful project or event, you might say, "Thanks everyone for your hard work." "Thank you everyone for all that you've done." Or to an individual, you might say, "You must have worked really hard on this." If an employee has been doing a good job for a long time, you might like to tell them, "I really appreciate your work." Or, "I really appreciate all you do for us." Another common way of emphasizing when an employee continually does a good job is with the term, "Keep up the good work." This expresses praise and encouragement. "The project is really coming along, Bob. Keep up the good work." When you express 수고하셨어요 to your coworkers or your manager at the end of the day and you're going home, you can say something like, "Have a good one," "Take care," or "Enjoy the rest of your day." Although in the US, we might say goodbye to our coworkers when we're leaving, we typically don't feel the need to tell our manager that we are leaving for the day, as long as we work our scheduled hours. So this might be a bit of a cultural difference. If you provide some kind of service to customers, like a hairdresser or a nail technician, and you want to express 수고하셨습니다 when the work is complete, you can say, "It's all finished," or "You're all done." If you're the customer in this situation and you want to say 수고하셨습니다, you can simply say thank you. Finally, listen to some of these expressions. "You look tired." "You look exhausted." "You must be tired." These are some expressions I often hear Koreans use when they try to express sugo, since these expressions are often used in Korean to try to sound sympathetic. However, to English speakers, this can sound pretty rude. It sounds like you are saying the other person looks ugly. So I do not recommend using these kinds of expressions when you want to say sugo. Instead, I would say something like, "It must have been tough for you," or you've been through a lot today. These expressions focus on the difficulties you had while you worked instead of focusing on how you look. So these sound a lot more polite, but also sympathetic. Let's think about this situation. If you visit a woman who has recently given birth, you might want to say 수고 or 고생 to her to express some sympathy. If you said something like, "You look exhausted," or "You must be tired," the mother might be offended or a bit upset because she worked really hard to give birth, but all you're talking about is the way she looks. In this case, it would probably be nice to say, "You have been through a lot today." In America, we typically do not go to a special center after giving birth, so it might be nice to offer them some kind of help, like a home-cooked meal, for example. Or if your coworker has worked an extra long shift and you wish to express 수고 to them, if you said something like, "You look tired today," it would sound pretty rude. They know they look tired because they worked a very long shift. Instead, in this case, you should say something like, "It must have been tough for you." This sounds a lot more polite and sympathetic. I hope that you all have a better understanding of how you should and should not express 수고 in English. As always, if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and leave them down below. And we hope that you subscribe for new content. And until next time, bye!